Has anybody told you that you're perfect? Has anybody told you that you're worth it? If they haven't, baby, I apologize for them. I apologize for them. Let me know that you got my flowers. Been sitting alone for hours. Somehow can't get you off my mind. Before you fall asleep, I'ma ring your doorbell. Throw a rock at your window, calm down.
What's up, guys? This is your girl Brandy, and I'm back here in the building again with another video. Today we're gonna be doing story time. Don't forget, if you guys like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and that notification bell. Now, moving right along, I'm gonna tell you a story time, but keep in mind, guys, that this was like over 9, maybe 10 years ago. I was just about to turn 20 years old. So with that being said and done, let's get it. Now, I'm so embarrassed of this story, but okay. Anyways, guys, when I was about 19 years old, I met this guy. I was just getting back into the dating world. I was feeling him, and you know, I decided to take it serious. Me and him made it official, and we got in a relationship or whatever. So at this point, I was young turkey or whatever, so I was working 2 jobs. So I really didn't never have time to like focus in on everything that he was doing. With that being said and done, this was one of the days that we had set up to have a date together, and I had decided that I was going to pick up an extra shift because my supervisor had asked me could I work an extra shift. And so I picked up the extra shift or whatever, and his brother called me and he was like, hey, Brandy, you know, let's see what we're going to name him. I have a hard time with naming names, especially when they're not real. Anyways, we're going to name him Jacquees. So his brother calls and says, hey, is Jacquees over there? And I'm like, no. He told me he was with you. So he was like, oh yeah, he's on his, I think he's on his way over here. It's been about 10 minutes ago. And to remind you, you guys, rewind back because y'all don't know the whole story. When we first met, we wasn't serious. We wasn't as one. So when we first met, we would share a lot of things with each other. And he had one of these girls on his Facebook, and I was like, oh, we didn't get along in school. Like, I mean, if we're going to take this serious and make this serious, you're going to have to, no, not talk to her. So he was like, that's done. I mean, honestly, she a loud mouth, and, you know, she kind of is a little bit messy to me and talk too much. So with that being said and done, I was like, okay, cool. At that point, I didn't have no reason to, like, question him. You know, I just trusted him on his word. So moving along, a couple months after that girl was never brought up again or whatever. I'm gonna call her Sarah. Sarah was never brought up again or whatever. And so yeah, so I'm just working, living my life or whatever. I decided, you know, we would, you know, spend the next day together because I was off for 3 days, and we would actually go out of town or something. So, you know, his brother calls me, and I'm just sitting there. By this time, you know, we done made it official. We done started doing the do. I mean, it's just a lot of feelings that's involved, you know. So with that being said and done, his brother calls or whatever, and I'm at work. I'm like, my whole attitude has just changed. I'm just like, but I was cool with one of the other nurses, so she was like, what's going on? So I gave her the spiel on the story or whatever. When I gave her the spiel on the story, I was like, you know, I kind of been studying him. It's kind of been red flags, but they ain't really been red flags, and I'm just going to go by what I feel in my heart, and I'm just going to roll up on him where I think he could be. So, with that being said and done, she was like, cool, girl, make sure all your people drive, make sure you good, make sure you straight. I got you. I'll answer your call lights or whatever. So, that was that on that. So, because remind you, like, this is, at this time, I work at a nursing home, and at this time, I worked 3 to 11, but I stayed over the extra shift. So at 11 o'clock, mostly all of your patients in the bed, they just call them to go to the bathroom, and you check them every 2 hours. So she was like, okay, cool, I got you, whatever. So I was like, you sure? She was like, yeah, girl, you straight. So with that being said and done, I decided to go out looking for him. I'm like, I know he can't be over this girl house. I know he's not over Sarah's house because I already done expressed to him, and I don't think, at this point, I don't think that he would do me like this. Like, I see little stuff that be sketchy, but I'm like, okay, maybe it's my paranoia. You know, I've been in a bad relationship before, you know, just got out of a rough relationship, not even a year and a half ago. So, you know, maybe that's me. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I'm thinking too much into the relationship. So, but the other side of my brain is telling me, pull up over there. Just pull up. You know everything about this girl. You went to school with her. Pull up over there. But I'm like, you know, he didn't really have no reason to lie to me because we wasn't committed at first. But the other side of that brain just kept telling me to pull up over there. So I pulls up over there. I see his car. I don't know what it was about my hormones and my brain or what he did. So I get out the car. I'm blowing the horn. Now, mind you, my first car, my mama gave it to me. It was a Chevy, a Tahoe Chevy. So I'm blowing the horn, boom, 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 boom. I just don't went in rage. I don't even know why. Like I felt betrayed. I felt everything. So I'm just blowing that horn, boom, 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 boom. So that wasn't good enough. Nobody came outside. Mind you, I didn't know which apartment she lived in, but our town is so small, I knew where she stayed, the apartment complex that she stayed. And I see his car parked. So I park it behind his car. Put the car behind his car. Old woman come outside. And I'm like, I try to straighten up my act, you know, because I know I'm all out of character. So I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, do you know where the person that drive this car, did you happen to see where he went? So she light up her little cigarette. No, but my daughter gone to my car and I'm handicapped, and yeah, I don't park here all the time, but we got assigned parking spaces. But I think he went down there to that apartment right there, but I'm ready for this car to go because where's my daughter gonna park when she come? So I said, oh, don't worry, ma'am, I got it for you. So at this point, I start saying, I know you hear me outside, Jacquees. I know you hear me outside. You better get outside. Bump, bump, hitting on the car, kicking on the car. Because I know at this time, like, his car is his world. I know that much about him, you know. So, with that being said and done, he comes to walking up the street. Now, I see him, and I just think my eyes are playing deja vu on me. I'm trying so bad to just catch a hold of myself because I know that this is about to end wrongly. But the woman has the nerves to come to her door and stand in her door with her hand on her hip. Like, yeah, he was here. And he gonna insult my intelligence, say he was at his homeboy house, his friend house. Now, remind you, his friend mama did stay down the street. So, I'm like, no, homeboy, you're not about to play me. No, I seen exactly where you get. Like, if she hadn't came outside, I might have would have believed it, just being stupid. I wouldn't have believed it, but I would have lied to myself to make myself believe it. Just being stupid. So, she's standing at the door, so I really don't want her to see me check him. Because I'm trying to act like I ain't even bothered at all. But the way she's standing at the door, I go down there, and she knew that I was, like, about this life. Like, she really knew that I could go there when it came to certain situations. Because, honestly, we used to be friends. But that's a story for another day. So, I walked down the street, and I don't know if she could read my body language or whatever, but she was like, if you hit me, I swear. And everybody knew she was one of them type of people that talk stuff, you know, back in the day in school or whatever. So I'm like, if I hit you, be what? You ain't gonna do nothing but get that A whooping. So at this point, I'm just living. But then I have to, something in my mind just clicked. Something clicked in my mind, and I was just like, you know, my child, Jabari. My job, everything that I have, I don't need a record. So I just looked at her and I just started calling her all kind of names. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to argue with you. But when I turned back around and I seen him, he thought he was going to get in that car. Now, remind you, we don't exchange keys. We got keys. He's staying with me at this point. He got stuff in my house, everything. He thought he was just going to get in that car and lie this situation away. I tried my best to be a lady. But I got this old woman looking at me that want her parking space. And I got this little thing over here that I'm really just wanting to go in on. But I'm like, even though my feelings are all the way up here, I got to think about just more than me. I got to think about my child. So what I do, guys, is I turn and look at him. He was just so disgusting to me. I couldn't keep from putting my hands on him. So I just turned around and I started just wailing on him. Wailing on him. Wailing on him. Bow, 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 bow. I took all my anger out on him. But he wasn't having that. Say the truth. He wasn't the type of person that would hit a woman. But he bit the shit out of my arm. And when he bit my arm, it was almost like I came back into reality. So I jumped up off of him from fighting him because, mind you, he's sitting in the seat and I'm on top of him just wailing on him. Can't believe you did me like it's bow, 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 just wailing on him. He bit me. It was like something in my mind clicked. I don't know why I thought that I could just hit him and he wasn't going to hit me back or do anything back to me. And I guess he took it as long as he could because, honestly, he could have just fought me like I fought him. But no, that wasn't good enough for me. I felt like he was just supposed to sit there and take that whooping. So when he bit me, it's like I came back into reality and I jumped up and said, oh, you going to jail. You going to jail. You are going to jail. You put your hands on me, MF'er. So I'm cussing. I'm saying all kind of reckless stuff, you know. And he like, well, you, I don't know if he's scared of me at this point or what. I think it really was like a self-defense type of moment where he felt like he had to defend himself. So, anyways, long story short, I'm so mad and deranged, I ain't thinking clearly at all at this point. I calls the police. I ain't had, now remind you, I'm 19 years old. At this point, I just didn't have a license just because. I hadn't even had a ticket or nothing. I just really had learned how to drive. And, you know, he was one of the people that helped me and taught me how to drive. So I didn't really have a chance to have a license. But I was working and I was driving the car that my mama had gave me. So I called the police out there or whatever. So the police was like, ma'am, you came, this woman said you came to her house and you did this and you did that. And I was like, well, I didn't even know where she lived at. And she was like, but they said that you pulled up, you know. And rewind back, I almost went to jail before even going to jail, before even telling my story, because the whole time she stood inside her door. She said what she said about don't put your hands on me, da 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 da. She stood inside of her door the whole time. Then when the police come, she come outside. It just made me just want to grab her and just beat her up in front of the police, just go to wailing on her. So anyways, so he run down there, he talks to the police, and now regardless of his cheating habits, he was a good guy. He wasn't the type of person, you know, that would just, he had never been in trouble. You know, he had a lot going for himself just as well as I had a lot going for myself. He was just a crappy dude as a cheater. But anyways, long story short, they go down there and long story short, guys, you know, he's down there talking to the police, and she comes at her door. You know, they down there, I can tell they got a good story going on. So the officers come back up here and they like, ma'am, you know, we're really trying to help you because I believe that he's a douchebag. But they said, you know, this is her apartment, this is where she lives, you don't know nobody else out here. And they said you came out here with all this drama, starting all this stuff. So, you know, what is it that you really want to do? And I'm like, no, he put his hands on me. I've been through domestic violence before. I'm not tolerating him putting his hands on me. So at this point, I'm living. And honestly, that was the truth. That was really the truth about what made me so mad. But now that I'm growner and I think about it, like, I didn't have to put my hands on him. You know, you don't put your hands on somebody if you don't want nobody to put their hands on you. But I didn't think about it that way. I just thought he was a man. He put his hands on me, and he needs to be killed, go to jail, something. So I'm like, I didn't came out here and did none of this stuff. I just came out here to talk to him, ask him why he doing this to me. So, you know, the officer was like, well, they said that this woman right here seen the whole thing. So I'm looking at the woman, like, nope. I ain't do none of that stuff. Ask that woman. And she wanted him out of her parking space anyways. So at this time I'm thinking, okay, Granny got my back. You know, this older woman, you know, she know why I did what I did. So she gonna have my back. Y'all. She turned cold feet. She told them everything. All the stories was matching up. So at this point, the police officers, they was some cool police officers, because they was not like, they wasn't tripping on me at all. Even after me kind of twisting the story and everything, they was not tripping on me at all. So they was like, well, you know, ma'am, I don't want to take nobody to jail today. To be honest with you, you know, it sounds like you've hit him. He has a little bit scratch marks on my hair. He black. He black as H-E-L. Hell, I ain't hit him. That's a lot. You don't see no marks on him. No, ma'am, he got a couple of marks on him. He do. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to choose my battles. I know not to argue with this officer, because he's still trying to give me a chance. So he was like, but I'll tell you like this, ma'am. You do have a big old bite mark on you. You know, this down, you know, the skin is broke on it. And, you know, he did say he did it, but he said he did it because you hit him. So the thing about it is, ma'am, is that either we take y'all both to jail for mutual combat, or you just going to go home since you don't have license, and, you know, you cool off. So I'm going to give you a chance to leave. So I left. But me in my head, I knew. It wasn't over with. I knew in my head. I knew that he was coming to my house. Because he wasn't that kind of guy. So I knew that he was, you know, going to come to my house. So he like, oh, I wish I never met you. He coming to my house. I'm seeing him pack up the stuff. At this point, I'm just hurt. I'm like, my relationship is gone, you know. Everything is gone. So he in there packing up the stuff. The more and more I think about it, I get angry again. So I said, you know what? I can't even fight him no more. My arm is hurting so bad. So I gets in the car. I'm like, I gotta get back to work. I know I gotta go back to work. I know I gotta go back to work. You know, at this point, it's just over with. You know, the relationship wasn't meant to be. You know, he cheated on me. I wasn't gonna ever be able to forgive him anyways. But when I got that car and I went to pull my seat back over and click it, it's almost like something came in my mind and told me, he gonna leave here and he gonna leave you, but he gonna leave with a bill to pay. So we had this long alley in where I lived at. So I put my car in reverse. I stopped. I put my car in drive. And went 60 miles going up and bam into his car. And it felt good for a couple seconds, but honestly, I was like, now I'm about to go to jail. I did what I said I wasn't going to do. So I had to go into fast thinking mode. I mean, when I think about this, I was so blessed because, honestly, I could have had a lot of repercussions. Even though he was an ass as far as cheating, he did not take no charges out on me. But I went, hid my car at my aunt's house, called my homegirl on the job, told her what was going on. She was like, okay, I got you covered. Don't worry about it. I'm going to tell them you had an emergency. Shout out to her. She was the real McCoy. But I hid that car at my aunt's house. Why did I do that? I had to go there to hear her mouth on what I had just done. I don't know. Like, honestly, guys, I don't know why I did that stuff. But I'm glad I did it at a young age because I know now, what to, if they cheating, if they don't want you, just let it go. Don't be with them. You don't need them anyways if they cheating. So I told this story today, guys. I'm getting fresh with like a lot of stuff that I'm going to be telling at my story times. I'm going to just tell y'all the truth. It's going to make me nervous talking about it because those are a lot of my regrets. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I'm a whole totally different person now, but I do have a history, and I have been through a lot of things, some good, some bad, but they all have shaped me to be the person that I am today and to be the best me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And I will say this, in some of my videos, I may come off as I'm nervous. It's because I'm nervous. YouTube is new to me. And so my mind is always racing. But if you guys like the story times, it will become habitual to me. It will become normal. It'll be relaxing and cooling. Just stay tuned with your girl. Keep supporting your girl. And thank y'all so much. Peace.